In the darkest of nights, when the world hides beneath heavy clouds and relentless rain, sometimes fate leaves you standing at the edge of an unbelievable story. The sound of rain hitting the pavement was deafening that night. Streets glistened. Under the pale glow of flickering street lamps, Ethan walked home with his umbrella tilted against the fierce wind. Lost in thoughts of a long day, he hated nights like this, the kind that seemed endless, drowning in cold, wet silence. But then, he heard it, a faint, trembling sound. At first he thought it was the wind howling between the alleys. But as he stopped walking, the noise became clearer. A cry. It's not human. Smaller, weaker. He turned. There it was. A tiny, drenched cat, no bigger than his hands, crouched under a broken wooden bench. Its fur clung to its frail body, soaked too. The bone, its voice thin, trembling, was almost painful to hear. Ethan's heart clenched. He crouched down, his umbrella shielding the little creature. "Hey, little one, what are you doing out here?" he murmured softly. The cat blinked up at him, its wide eyes shimmering like glass under the dim light. And then he noticed it. Those eyes weren't just scared, they were pleading, almost human. He reached out carefully, not wanting to frighten it. The cat didn't run. It stayed still, as if it wanted him to take it. The rain continued pounding down, soaking them. Both. Ethan scooped the trembling creature into his arms. It was freezing. Its heartbeat was rapid, frantic against his chest. "Don't worry," Ethan whispered. "I've got you now." But little did he know this wasn't just an abandoned cat. This night would change his life forever. When he reached home, Ethan immediately wrapped the kitten in a soft towel. His tiny paws clutched at his fingers desperately, as though afraid he might let go. He made warm milk, coaxing it to drink. The cat, weak but trusting, obeyed. He stared at it. "Who left you out there?" There was no collar, no tags. Just matted fur and trembling whiskers. But as he stroked its head, something strange happened. The kitten meowed softly, but the sound was unlike any he'd heard. It was almost like a word. It startled him. "Did you just—" He paused, frowning, but he shook it off. "I must be tired." Yet deep down, something about this. Cat felt off. That night, as he lay in bed, the kitten curled against his chest, purring faintly. The sound was comforting, lulling him to sleep. But then, just before drifting off, he heard it. A whisper, so faint it was almost lost in the rain outside. "Thank you." Ethan's eyes flew open. He sat upright, heart pounding. His gaze darted. To the kitten, it was asleep or pretending to be. Had he imagined it? No. He knew what he heard. But what he didn't know is that this was only the beginning. The next morning, sunlight crept through the curtains. Ethan woke up groggily, half expecting the previous night to be a dream. But there it was, the kitten, perched quietly on his pillow, staring at him. Its green eyes glimmered oddly, almost too intelligent. Ethan reached out, scratching behind its ears. "Morning, little guy?" But then he froze. Underneath its paw was a scrap of something. He picked it up, a piece of paper. It was a photo, crinkled, damp, and faintly torn. The image showed a young girl, maybe 8 years old, holding what looked like the same cat. The fur pattern was identical. "What is this?" Ethan murmured. He flipped it over, on the back smeared ink red. "Don't let her be alone again." His stomach tightened. He stared at the kitten. "Where did you get this?" Cat tilted. Its head blinking slowly. Ethan set the photo down, unsettled. He didn't own cats. He had no idea who this girl was. But somehow, this animal had brought him a message tied to its mysterious past. Later that day, Ethan decided to visit a local vet, hoping to at least scan for a microchip. At the clinic, the vet scanned the kitten. The screen beeped. Ethan leaned in, but the vet frowned. "That's odd." "What?" "There's a chip, but it's registered to someone who died 2 years ago." Ethan felt a chill. The vet nodded. "Hensley, the record says she had no living family. Her house burned down because of death, accidental fire." Ethan's breath hitched. He remembered the photo, the girl. He stared at the kitten in his carrier. Its eyes stared back, calm to calm. "How did you survive that?" Ethan whispered. That night, rain returned. Ethan couldn't sleep. He placed the photo on his nightstand, staring at it under the dim glow of his lamp. The kitten patted over, pawing gently at the photo, then meowing softly. Ethan sighed. "Who are you, little one? What do you want me to do?" The kitten leaped from the bed, padding toward his front door. It scratched lightly. "You want me to follow you?" The cat looked back, tail flicking. Against every ounce of logic, Ethan grabbed his coat. He followed. The streets were silent and slick from rain. The cat trotted ahead confidently, leading him several blocks away, until it stopped. Before them stood a charred, abandoned house. Blackened windows, collapsed roof. Ethan's blood ran cold. This was Claire's house, wasn't it?" he muttered. The kitten meowed softly. He stepped closer. The air was thick with the scent of wet ashes. The gate creaked as he pushed it open. Inside, amidst the rubble, something glimmered faintly under the moonlight. Ethan knelt. It was a locket, tarnished but intact. He opened it, his breath caught. Inside was a photo of the same girl and Claire. The woman's warm smile mirrored the cat's calmness somehow. Etched beside it were words, "Promise me you'll protect her even if I can't." Ethan stared at the kitten, realization dawning. This wasn't coincidence. The cat wasn't just lost, it was leading him here. For a reason, suddenly thunder boomed overhead. The kitten's fur bristled. It darted deeper into the ruins, toward what used to be a basement door. Ethan followed, heart pounding. He pulled the rusted door open, descending into the darkness. And then he saw it. A small box. Untouched by the fire, tucked into a corner. He picked it up, opening it carefully. Inside were papers, letters, and a journal. He flipped through. Each page was written in Claire's delicate handwriting. It told a story that would shatter everything he thought he knew about that cat. Ethan's fingers trembled as he opened the journal. The first page was dated 3 years ago. "To whoever finds this. If I'm gone, please take care of her," Ethan frowned. "What does she mean, the cat?" He turned the page. "Luna's an Ann. Ordinary cat. I don't expect anyone to believe me, but she understands me. More than any human ever could. Sometimes when I'm alone, I hear her voice. I don't think I'm crazy. I think she's special." Ethan's pulse quickened. The name Luna. So the kitten had a name. He glanced at the cat sitting calmly in the corner of the burnt basement. Watching him intently, he read on. "Luna came into our lives when my daughter Emily was just a baby. She was weak and sickly, and nothing seemed to cheer her up. But then Luna appeared at our doorstep during a storm, just like tonight. From that day, Emily got stronger. She laughed more. It's as if Luna healed her soul." Ethan's grip tightened on the journal. He remembered the girl in the photo. Emily. Emily called Luna her guardian angel. I started to believe it too. The way Luna would sit by her bed when she was sick. The way Emily said she could hear Luna's voice in her dreams. It was beyond ordinary. Ethan swallowed hard, goosebumps rising on his arms. But then came the fire. I don't know if anyone will understand, but as the flames surrounded us, I heard Luna speak. Clear as day. She said, "I'll protect Emily, even if it costs everything." The next entry was smudged, as if written in haste. Emily didn't make it out. Neither did I. Only Luna survived. Somehow she lived. I don't know how, but I know she carries a piece of Emily with her. If anyone finds Luna, please don't ignore her. She will lead you to the truth. Ethan froze. His chest tightened painfully. He looked at Luna, the kitten, her green eyes shimmering like emerald glass. Suddenly, he understood. This wasn't just a cat. It was the last living piece of Emily. He sat back, heart pounding. You're her guardian, aren't you?" he whispered. Luna blinked slowly, stepping closer. Her tiny paw touched his knee, then dashed clear as day he heard it again. "Help me remember her," Ethan gasped, stumbling back. His breath came in sharp bursts. You can speak." Luna tilted her head, meowing softly, but in his mind he felt it. Words, emotions, images. A flash Amelie laughing, hugging Luna tightly. Another flash Claire smiling gently, writing in her journal. And then, fire, screams. Darkness. Ethan staggered, clutching his head. The visions stopped as quickly as they came. He collapsed against the wall, trembling. Luna climbed onto his lap, purring softly as if to calm him. When he regained his breath, he looked at her. "What do you want me to do?" Luna blinked, then jumped down. She pawed at the box of letters. Ethan picked them up. They were addressed to Emily. "Letters to my daughter," he muttered. They were unopened, sealed in neat envelopes, each one dated after Emily's death. Claire must have written them to cope. One letter caught his eye. It was marked, "For the day she's found." Hands shaking, Ethan tore it open. "If you're reading this, it means Luna has chosen you. Please take her to Emily's favorite place, the old willow tree by the lake. She loved it there. She always said that's where she felt closest to the sky. Give her the locket. She'll know what to do." Ethan stared at the words, stunned. He remembered passing that lake years ago. It wasn't far. He looked down at Luna. She stared back, waiting. Ethan exhaled shakily. "All right, Luna, I'll take you there." As he rose, clutching the locket and letters, Luna followed close behind. He didn't know what awaited them at that lake, but deep down, he felt this night would change everything. The night was still and heavy, the air damped with the scent of rain-soaked earth. Ethan drove silently, the locket clutched tightly in his hand. Luna sat in the passenger seat, quiet but alert, her emerald eyes fixed on the road ahead, as though she knew exactly where they were going. When they finally arrived, the lake shimmered faintly under the pale moonlight. At its edge, an enormous willow tree stood, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. Ethan stepped out of the car, Luna leaping gracefully down beside him. "This is it," he whispered. The place was hauntingly peaceful. The surface of the lake reflected the silver moon above, rippling slightly in the breeze. Ethan walked toward the willow, Luna trailing behind him. He knelt at the base of the tree. "Is this where you want to be?" he asked softly. Luna meowed gently, then patted forward. She placed her tiny paw on the trunk of the willow and looked back at him. Ethan pulled the locket from his pocket, opening it once more. The photo of Claire and Emily stared back at him. His chest ached. He knelt down, gently placing the locket at the tree's roots. Suddenly Luna sat beside it and closed her eyes. Her purring deepened, and then stopped altogether. Ethan froze. The wind shifted. The air grew unnaturally still. He felt a strange warmth radiate from the ground beneath him, and then he heard it. "Mom." The voice was faint, like an echo carried from another world. Ethan's heart leapt. He looked at Luna. Her body shimmered faintly under the moonlight. Images flooded his mind again. Emily running through these fields, laughing beneath the willow tree. Claire sitting on a blanket, smiling at her daughter. Luna nestled between them. He heard Emily's voice again. "Luna, promise me you'll stay with me forever." And Luna's soft reply, "Always." In his eyes, "Emily," he whispered. He felt a presence gentle and warm wrap around him like sunlight breaking through clouds. He couldn't see her, but he felt her. Luna turned her head toward him, and at that moment her voice clearer than ever filled his mind. "Thank you for bringing me home." The glow around her intensified for a moment, then softened. Ethan gasped as he saw it. A faint, ghostly silhouette of a young girl kneeling beside Luna, hugging her tightly. "Emily," his breath hitched. You're here." The vision lasted only seconds. Emily looked at Ethan, smiling softly. "Please, take care of her now." And just like that, she faded. Ethan knelt there, trembling, tears streaming down his face. He pulled Luna into his arms, holding her close. She purred softly, nuzzling his chest. For the first time, he didn't hear words, just peace. The days that followed felt different. Ethan brought Luna home, but he no longer saw her as just a rescued stray. She was a living piece of love, a bridge between worlds, carrying memories that could never be lost. At night, Luna would curl against his chest. Sometimes, when the rain pattered softly against the windows, he swore he could hear faint laughter, like a memory carried on the wind, and he realized something profound. He hadn't just saved Luna that night in the rain. She had saved him. Sometimes the universe doesn't give us answers, it gives us guardians. And sometimes they come in the smallest, quietest forms, like a crying cat in the rain, whose secret leaves you speechless and changes you forever.